A lot of you probably know iCEV for our curriculum. We've primarily been a CTE curriculum company for the past 35 years, been focusing on bringing the industry expert to the classroom for students to learn various topics. And about 10 years ago, when ESSA, Every Student Succeeds Act, and when Perkins 5 started using industry certifications as a career readiness measure, whenever more than college readiness started becoming really important in that CTE space. Those same industry experts that we might have had on video through iCEV or other folks that had found out about us just in various industries started coming to us asking if we would sort of serve as an educational partner for them as they created an industry certification or as they were looking for a place to host an industry certification exam, since education and technology is sort of our space and has been for a while. So that's how iCEV became a certification testing platform. Sort of happened on accident in that way. But we are glad, grateful, really enjoy hosting other businesses and organizations' industry certification exams. Kimberly is navigating the iCEV website for me to kind of visually show you how the two different divisions of the business works. Both the curriculum side of the company, that first tab on our iCEV homepage, and then the industry certification testing side of the company. So today we're going to click on For Education when you're hovering over industry certification, since I'm guessing most of you are teachers, and that tab is most appropriate for you. It has language that is kind of geared towards students in that learning space. There was also tabs for the workplace and for individuals. And that's because these are true industry certifications. So they're used by companies to train employees. They're also used by folks who are looking to add something to their resume to distinguish it, maybe to set themselves apart from their peers, get some sort of cutting edge for promotion, whatever. So today that's where we are if you're trying to follow along or if you want to go back to these pages later. Please know that none of these industry certifications on our platform are iCEVs. We are not qualified to certify people in any of these subjects. If ever we were going to be qualified to certify someone, it might be in developing CTE curriculum or something. AMSA, American Meat Science Association, is definitely the industry expert qualified to certify folks in that field. The ASF is qualified to certify folks in plant science, and so on and so forth as you look down that list. And we serve as the educational partner that walks alongside them, that helps them manage their certification exam, that helps make sure it's educationally sound. And I'll tell you a bit more about the roles, various roles that we play. But us being able to walk alongside them and support their industry cert efforts helps let them focus on their bottom line while in the background in working with us, building a pipeline of workers for the future to ensure that their field is taken care of regarding future employees. So to the different roles that iCEV plays as we walk alongside these certifying agencies who host certification exams on our platform. We provide secure testing technology for their exams. All of their exams are hosted on iCEV, just like our curriculum. We regulate their testing environment. We work with secondary and post-secondary academic institutions with them and for them. We work with workforce development associations and the public at large, any entity that might be interested in certification options for career advancement. We help the certifying agencies navigate those spaces since we might be a little more familiar with it than them, or since we're kind of representing and working with multiple certifying agencies, it helps us do that efficiently. We provide certification verification to employers. So if ever an employer sees a certification on a resume, there's a place on our website where they can ask if a specific individual indeed obtained a certification before they hire that person. And most significantly by far, we offer optional certification exam preparation materials that are built completely in collaboration with the certifying agency. So this is all of the prep content or curriculum that's completely optional for you to use as a teacher or for any certification earner to use. that ensures success on that certification exam, or that's one way of ensuring success on that certification exam. So we work with the certifying agency to make sure that there's materials provided to ensure that success. So Kimberly's going to go more in depth later of what it looks like to technically cross-reference that preparation material with what you're already teaching in the class, because it definitely is really easy to integrate into what you're already doing. I do want to use an example today and show you a little bit more about the landing pages and some of the tools on our platform. So Kimberly, let's use the Southwest Airlines Professional Communication Certification as an example, if you don't mind clicking on that landing page. At the top, you'll see a video is loading. That's a great video to show your students, and it's on every landing page, a different promo video, related to whatever certification you clicked on. Great video to show your students before they start the process of preparing for the certification exam. Lets them hear from the certifying agency as to why they created it. Also lets them usually hear from other individuals in the industry or other employers in general as to why they value hiring folks who have that certification. So just wanted to highlight that. Kimberly, if you'll keep scrolling, I'd love to highlight the industry standards. All of these certification exams are built on industry standards set by the certifying agency. So this is the Southwest Airlines Professional Communications Exam. So I studied business as part of my master's degree. Pretty much all the case studies were on Southwest Airlines or Chick-fil-A, because those are the two organizations really known for their customer service. Can't tell you how many stories I read on Southwest Airlines and the Southwest way of communicating, or the way that they execute customer service. So because they're known for that, they chose to step forward and create an industry certification that's sort of the ultimate soft skills certification. So Southwest said, these are the industry standards that an individual needs to master, that they need to show proficiency in, to really be able to tell an employer, I've mastered the soft skills that you want me to have, that you're looking for in every entry-level employee. So the industry standards are always created by the certifying agency. And then we work with that certifying agency to say, okay, what would it look like for, test questions around this to be developed? What could test questions look like? Or what could curriculum to prepare someone for success on those test questions look like? And again, Kim's going to kind of go over what that optional prep content looks like. And the fact that if you're the best professional communications teacher in the world, we don't want to hold you back. So if you keep scrolling down a little bit, Kim, you'll see on there that it tells you a little bit about what the curriculum looks like on iCEV that prepares folks for success on that certification exam, which was written in collaboration with Southwest or whatever certifying agency that's definitely geared towards them experiencing success on that certification exam. Excuse me. But if you're not interested in using that, or if you're only interested in using parts of it, feel free to click on that Learn More button. It'll bring you to a landing page that's specific about the preparation materials. As you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a link to a study guide that tells you even more in depth about the industry standards. So you can kind of check and make sure that whatever you're teaching your students matches that study guide, so that they can experience success on that certification exam. Ultimately, we hope that you see the value in offering your students an industry certification exam after whatever you're teaching them in the class, once you see how easy they are to integrate, because this is proof of what they are already learning with you. It's just, a final exam, something that they're doing at the end of what they're probably already learning, or maybe a few extra lessons or something of what they're already learning. And that proof carries a lot of weight on their resume and carries a lot of weight in industry. They won't have to just say, I took a professional communications class, but can instead say, I have an industry certification in professional communications from Southwest Airlines or whatever organization. So I'll let Kimberly share how easy it is to integrate the certifications hosted on our platform with whatever courses you might already be using with iCEV.
Thank you, Kelly. So while Kelly gave us an overview of who we are as iCEV and the true value of industry certifications, I'm going to take it a step further and we're going to look at the actual implementation of iCEV into your CTE programs and how we can help you get the most out of your iCEV subscription and give the most value to your CTE students. So today I'm going to be doing a split screen. Here on the left-hand side, I'm logged into a teacher account. Here on the right-hand side, I'm logged into a student account. Just kind of keep those as a frame of reference as I'm going through. So over here, I have my courses page set up similar to how a teacher might have their courses page set up for a semester or year-long program. You'll see that courses with certifications tied to them are differentiated by this certification icon. For this particular playlist, I have 2 courses that include certifications. But these certifications, these courses, the preparation materials used for the certifications are also very similar to the curriculum provided in the lessons. So for example, continuing on with Kelly's use of the Southwest Airlines Professional Communications certification, the preparation materials designed for the Southwest Airlines certification are very similar to the lessons included in the iCEV Professional Communications course. In fact, for the Professional Communications course, there's only one lesson that is not included that is associated with the certification exam. So that means if you're an educator who's using the Professional Communications course through iCEV, you'd only need to include one more lesson in order to help your students earn the Southwest Airlines certification. And this is similar to all of the other certifications hosted on iCEV and their comparable course. This is done to make sure that the certifications are truly easy to integrate into your program and don't add a lot of extra work for you as an educator, because that's iCEV's true goal, is to make your life as a teacher easier. So let's say that you want to add a certification to your course playlist. So what you're going to do is just click this Add New Course/Certification button. This will take you to a page where you can select your subject area. For this example, we're going to use business. And you'll see a list of all the courses associated with this subject area. But I'm going to go over here and click Certification Playlist, which will show me all of the certifications associated with this subject. Now, let's say I were to click a different subject area, it would automatically switch to those different certifications associated with that subject. And there are some certifications, for example, the Southwest Airlines certification or the Express Employment Professionals Career Preparedness certification, that overlaps regardless of the subject area. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new certification to my course playlist. For this example, I'm just going to click the Center for Financial Responsibility Personal Financial Literacy certification. Once I click that certification, I'll be able to name it. You can name it anything you want. Previously, I had named those courses and certifications to be associated with a class period, but you can name it whatever fits your organizational structure. Often, what I do for simplicity's sake is just copy and paste the certification name right here into the course title. Once you've done that, you'll click Add Course, and you can replicate this process as many times as you want. And once you're done, you just click Finished. That will add the course or certification to your playlist, and then you can move it wherever you would like to fit your organization plan. So once we've added a certification, it's time to learn more about it. So I'm going to click View for the Professional Communications certification. Now you'll see here that that these boxes under Required for Cert can be checked or unchecked. These lessons were designed by iCEV curriculum writers in collaboration, in this example, with Southwest Airlines, to prepare someone for the Southwest Airlines certification exam. These lessons are a reflection of the industry standards that Kelli talked about earlier. And while the lesson names don't necessarily correlate with the industry standard names, there is a reflection of them. Now, Southwest Airlines and all of the other certifying agencies who utilize iCEV recommend that an individual goes through these lesson materials before attempting the certification exam. However, as Kelli said, we give you the option to customize the lesson playlist to best fit your needs. So let's say that you already have a lot of content for communication styles and there's no need to reinvent the wheel. That's fine. You can uncheck the lesson, which means that your students will not see it in their lesson playlist. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that they won't be tested over it. So as long as you can uncheck these lessons to your heart's desire, but you need to make sure that you're still addressing those concepts in order to get your students ready for the certification exam. So once you have customized your lesson, it'll be time to invite your students. So to do that, you'll simply click Invite Students. And this is the same process that you would use if you're inviting students to a regular iCEV course. Now, there are a few ways that they can do this. If they have not created an iCEV account, they'll go to this link where they will enter the registration code, as well as their name, email, and creating their username and password. But I already have an iCEV account set up as a student. So what I'm going to do is I will copy and paste this registration code here and go over to my student page. And I'm just going to click Add New Course/Certification. And here, I'll just be able to copy and paste it and click Submit, and it will be added to my course. Students can do this as many times as they need for as many classes as they need. So let's say this same student is also in the career preparedness that includes a certification class. We'll do the same exact thing. We'll just copy and paste the link. And it'll auto-populate on their My Courses page. Coming back over here to the teacher view, you'll see that I have unchecked all of these lessons. And that is because I, as a student, didn't have time to go through all of the lessons to get ready to take the certification exam. But that is definitely not recommended by Express Employment Professionals or any other certifying agency that we host. So now that we've invited our students, it's time to actually go ahead and start teaching these materials. So let's look at the conflict management lesson within the Southwest Airlines certification course as an example. First, you'll see here that a video is the focal point of this lesson. Some sort of multimedia presentation, either a PowerPoint or a video, will be the focus of each iCEV lesson. In this particular case, it's a video. We have instructional and interactive materials that are associated with each iCEV lesson. These instructional materials are designed to be printed out or used for students that don't have an iCEV student license. Now, if your students do have iCEV licenses, which they need in order to go through the certification exam, you'll use these interactive materials here. Down here, you'll see that one particular assessment has a green star. This means that the student has to earn a 70% on this particular assessment in order to unlock the certification exam. Once the student has earned a 70% on all of the Green Star assessments that are required in the lesson playlist, then their certification exam will be unlocked, allowing them to start the certification exam process. But if you unchecked the required for cert box, that Green Star assessment won't be required. And they can go through these Green Star assessments as many times as they need in order to get that 70%. The individual lessons also include lesson plans that break down the lesson. They include objectives and horizontal alignments. They also have a day-by-day lesson plan that you can use as a guide, as well as an outline for activities and projects that really allow you to bring that hands-on component into your classroom and really help your students get an in-depth understanding of the competencies that they'll be assessed in during the certification exam. Now, our students have gone through the lesson materials. They're experts on the subject, and now they're ready to take the certification exam. So, for the career preparedness with certification class, which is the Express Employment Career Preparedness Certification, I did not require any of these lessons to be completed, which means that I can go ahead and start the certification exam. You'll see this error notice here. That means that I have just already attempted this certification exam 2 times in similar professional development sessions like this one. So I, as a student, say that I'm ready. I am an expert in career preparedness and I'm ready to get this certification. So I'm going to check this box and click check in. But I have to wait on my proctor first. All iCEV courses, all certification exams hosted on iCEV must be proctored. So to do that, we're going to go to this particular certification, the Express Career Preparedness Certification. We're going to scroll down to the bottom where we see 2 buttons, Manage Proctor and Proctor the Exam. Under Manage Proctors, you'll be able to assign and invite proctors. Let's say that you are in a state, district, or school where you, as the classroom teacher, are not allowed to act as a proctor. And you need to invite, for example, your district's testing coordinator to be a proctor. You would simply type in their name and email and invite them to be a proctor. You can also review the proctoring guidelines on this page and manage proctors as you need to. Once you get your proctors all set up, you'll go to Proctor the Exam. On this page, you'll see the status of any students who are attempting to take a certification exam. Here, we see that a student is active, trying to get into the career preparedness certification. I have a set of digital vouchers, as can be seen here. So I'm going to check this digital voucher button. Digital vouchers are a way to pay for a certification exam. Each digital voucher is worth a $30 cost for the certification exam. For those of you who may have the paper vouchers that were used by iCEV in the past, they're the same exact thing, just digital now. These digital vouchers don't ever expire. Let's say you purchase a bulk of them at the beginning of your iCEV subscription, and maybe you only use a third of them in the first year. Not a problem. You will be able to use the remainder of them until they expire and until you run out and you need to purchase more. So I'm going to check the digital voucher box because I'm going to use one for this exam, and I'm going to click approved because I've made sure that the student is actually attempting the certification exam and that they're following all the guidelines. I'll go ahead and click begin exam. The student will then be able to click next, which will take them into the certification exam. Once you click launch and start, you'll be taken to the very first question. And you'll see by that green check mark there that the student is active. Now, if we were to click live progress, we will see this actual progress of the student. Now, you'll see that it says away right now. Let's say I answer the first question and I'm active. And it also shows you the test question that they're on. And this is the same for all of the certifications, no matter how many students you have going at the same time. Now, your students have gone through, they've taken the certification exams, and they have shown their knowledge and skills. And now you want to see how they did. So if you go down to the bottom of your My Courses page and click on Student Certification Reports. Here, you will be able to see reports for all of the certifications that you have on your My Courses page. Now, I don't actually have reports on this page because, well, myself as a student has not earned any certifications through this account yet. But we'll pretend that they did. So this certified button here shows how many of your students are actually certified. Attempts shows how many have attempted it. And this passing is the passing percentage rate. The average time shows how long it took your students to get through the certification exam. On average, it takes about an hour to go through a certification exam, but the student has up to 5 hours to go through the certification exam. After 5 hours, the system times out. You can also see the average grade for certifications. Certification exams are graded on a scale of 0 to 100%. We can also see errors. Now, errors would be any type of technical problem that a student may have. Let's say their internet disconnected, or they accidentally closed the browser in the middle of an exam. That would show here in the error function. The industry standards report would show how the students did on each individual industry standard, and is a good way for you as an educator to see which concepts you need to go back and address. And finally, we have the certification summary report, which is the status of each student who has registered for a certification exam. And it shows the status of the students progressing through all of the required lessons. Any of these reports with an eye icon can be expanded to show an individual student view. Now, if you click on certification summary report and the particular certification that you want, you'll be able to see the status of each student. For example, here, we see that the student has completed 0 out of 0 required lessons and has unlocked the certification exam, but has not yet completed it. On this page, you can also download the certification certificate after the student has earned the certification. This certificate is the exact same as the one that is mailed to your school. The only difference is it doesn't have that nice shiny foil certificate that makes it look fancy. But if the student needs something immediately, this is a great place to get it. Now, I know I have thrown you guys a lot of information, and so I would encourage you to take some time to look through the iCEV platform, play around in it, see how easy it is to put certification exams into your course playlist. If you ever have questions about iCEV, always feel free to reach out to our iCEV coach. We have a phenomenal team of customer service representatives who are there to help you and answer any questions that you may have. If you also need a more in-depth look and a more personalized look at the iCEV platform, I encourage you to schedule an online training. That's a great way to get some one-on-one training and to really help you get a feel for the iCEV platform. So now I'm going to turn it over to Kelli, and she is going to tell you how to help your students get the most out of their certification exams, or out of their certifications, I apologize.
Thanks, Kimberly. And like Kimberly said, that definitely was a lot. So definitely take advantage of that one-on-one session if needed, but hopefully that was helpful to you. Now that your earners have earned a certification, as we're kind of walking through this scenario, through this training, they might be wondering, now what? When do the employers start flocking to me and asking me to come work for them? I'm the daughter of a CTE teacher. I'm the sister of a CTE teacher. And I hear this question a lot is, what's that next step once the student has earned an industry certification? How do we get them connected to employers? How do we maximize the fact that they have earned something really valuable? And it's difficult with minors because you can't just list a database list of minors who earned an industry certification for employers to see and then reach out to. So it is just as important as actually earning that certification exam to promote the industry certification, to know how to properly articulate what knowledge and skills you have proven by earning it. And so we've created a library of resources for you as a teacher. It's on icevonline.com/hire certified, HIRE certified. And this landing page is solely for you as a teacher to use as a library of resources to market your students, if you will, and the certifications they've earned to the businesses and organizations in your community, so that those businesses and orgs understand that your students are really qualified employees for them, whether that's a part-time job, a summer job, or a full-time job after they graduate high school, now that they have something more than a high school diploma. And I hope you know too, industry certs are just as great for students that are going the college route, because let's say Kimberly and I went to the same college and we earned the same degree, graduated around the same time. I mean, we're going to be competing for the same jobs with the same credentials. But if Kimberly had an industry certification and I did not, and it related to our career path, then that would definitely distinguish Kimberly over myself in that resume stack. So on this Hire Certified page, this is kind of where the library of resources is. And this is a video sort of introducing you to some teachers from a couple of different states and some CTE administrators from a couple of different states that are sharing how they have made that implementation of industry certs work really well in their school and how it's benefited their community and the students who've earned those certifications. So a good introduction to the page. On this side over here, you'll see that there's a customizable flyer that you can download. You can add your school's name, your CTE program's name. We've already plugged in the value of certifications. You can talk a little bit about why you want to work with the businesses and orgs in your community. You can talk about your program strengths or the unique traits of your program, and you can list all the certifications that y'all are using with students, not just the ones on the iCEV platform. Maybe add a quote from the student or a quote from you as the CTE leader. This flyer could be used via snail mail. CTSO officers could hand deliver it during, a CTSO appreciation week or something. You could post it on social media just to let your community know that you are preparing your students for jobs in the community. So totally customizable. Something that might be good to attach to that flyer is some one-pagers about whatever industry certs your program is using, especially if you haven't been using these certifications for a while. The employers might not be used to hiring folks with this on their resume, so they might not have even heard of this certification before. It would be important to show them those industry standards, to show them that the industry standards tested for in this is probably exactly what they're training all of their entry-level employees on. I've had conversations with lots of businesses about the certifications on our platform, and I've had some say, I haven't heard of that certification, especially if it's a newer one. But I've never had any say when I showed them the industry certifications that they thought the knowledge and skills tested for in that cert wouldn't be valuable to entry-level employees. All of them say, you know how much time and money I'd be saved if everyone I hired had these skills? So feel free to even cover the logo, on that one pager when you're holding it up, showing that employer or mailing it to them or whatever, and say, I bet this is exactly what you wish entry-level employees had. So some flyers you can attach to the back of that introductory flyer. This Why Hire Certified Applicants infographic is great talking points for a multitude of reasons. One, you could use this with your students before they start the certification process. You could help them see why it's so valuable for them to earn a certification. If you're a teacher, you could use it with your administrators as you're helping your administrators understand why you want to purchase certification vouchers for your students. But it's really been created so that you as a teacher or even students can use it with those businesses and orgs and help them understand the benefit that certifications bring to certification earners. And it's beyond the knowledge and skills that individuals are proving. It's the things like the fact that they've shown initiative, that they're showing commitment to an industry at an early age. And all of that's mentioned in this flyer. This is the press release template that you automatically get whenever we mail the paper certificates to you, whenever you have certification earners. So just reattached it in case that's something that you need to access later. But a couple of notes on those paper certificates and a few extra things that you might be receiving as a teacher if you have certification earners. You can print those paper certificates on demand if maybe your cert earners are earning it right before a banquet and you want to make sure that they get the paper certificates handed out. It just won't have that shiny foil seal from the certifying agency if you print them from your teacher account on iCEV, but you do get that in the mail automatically with the press release. Also, if you have more than 10 certification earners in any year from your CTE program, you'll get a wall mount, a big plaque that has all of the students' names that have earned an industry certification and what certification they've received to recognize the fact that you are making your students industry ready. And you can hang that outside of your classroom for other CTE programs to see, or inside to inspire the next year's class to want to earn certifications as well. So that's something you'll receive if you have 10 or more earners in a year. But just wanted to add those couple of mentions. Lastly, this is my favorite thing on this whole page, and that's a lesson that you could use after maybe all your students earn their cert. And it's about how to list your certification on your resume. I think a lot of students skip this step and they think, okay, I'm certified, still waiting for those employers to come. And they don't understand how to market it. They don't know how to talk about a certification. So we suggest where they list it and how they list it. This is definitely something y'all can do as a class. As you keep scrolling on this page, you'll see some example success stories from various programs, how they have implemented certs into what they're already doing. I especially love this picture, and you can totally steal it or even send this story to employers, because it shows employers that other employers value these skills from the certification so much that they're willing to let minors come work with them. Something we hear pretty regularly is that a lot of employers are just not willing to let minors, maybe come do an internship or get hired at such a young age. But I think this picture kind of tells a story for itself. As you keep scrolling, we have several graphics from different employers in the industries of various certifications. So let's say, for example, you're an engines teacher, a shop teacher, and you had 10 students earn the Equipment and Engine Training Council Principles of Small Engines certification, and you want to brag on them. So post it on your CTE Twitter page. Post it wherever you'd like. Let the local businesses and orgs know that your students are ready. And you can do that in whatever way you like, but all these pictures are downloadable. Post it on the homepage of the school's website. Here's some examples of other schools that have done a great job doing that. This Buna FFA chapter, for example, posted pictures to show employers how their students are preparing for the certification exam. So they're practicing giving injections to animals by giving injections to oranges and looks like balloons and gloves, the different types of injections. getting ready for that Elanco veterinary medical applications certification exam. So again, a giant bucket of resources to hopefully help you market your certification earners, help your students see the value in industry certs. We'll continue to update this page and add resources, especially at the end of semesters.